you'll be getting it, of course, Ace Attorney, the Chronicles here, the great Ace Attorney Chronicles, 2 games that were released in Japan, finally coming here on July 27th. And it's about time, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you've been waiting for, all right? The Capcom presentation is starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
We jumped right in. I didn't mean to jump right into the thing. There was supposed to be a fade there, but welcome to the D-Pad. I'm Rick. This is the Capcom live showcase for E3 2021. Let's dive on in. What do we got first here? I'm trying to keep my expectations tempered. There's been rumors that they're working on like a major Mega Man game and things that aren't going to be in this one. There's murmurs of like a Battle Network anniversary thing that's probably not going to be here. Probably going to see some Monster Hunter. We might see some, I don't know, would it be weird to see some Street Fighter in here? Resident Evil 8 is probably going to have some kind of DLC get announced.
Welcome to the Capcom
Resident Evil Village, that is.
I'm your host, Rachel Querico, a.k.a. Seltzer, and I'll be your guide.
I'm going to turn this up slightly.
News and updates. We'll hear from the Resident Evil Village team, share some news from the world of Monster Hunter, and get the latest on Ace Attorney.
Oh, God.
Then
That's
we'll
probably
wrap
too
up
loud.
with some updates from our friends at Capcom Fighters. So what are
Is
we
it quiet?
waiting
All right.
for? Let's get started. Our first
Yep,
stop today,
okay.
Resident Evil Village.
How's this?
The
Oh, wow,
Resident
we're
Evil
literally
Village
starting with Resident Evil. Okay.
Pioneer the latest and greatest in survival horror. The team has been blown away by the response to Resident Evil Village, which launched last month. It brought the world another chapter in this decades-long story as the franchise celebrates its 20th
I hope I don't have to avert my
anniversary.
eyes for any, like, spoilery
I'm honored
things.
to be able to introduce Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer
All right.
on Resident Evil Village, with a special message for the fans.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. That didn't change at all. All right, hang on a second. I wonder. I'm going to try something real quick. Whoop. Oh, Jesus. I'm not trying to move the thing. I'm just trying to interact with this. There we go. That'll do. Oh, this is definitely going to be spoilers. Oh, God. Well, we'll stick through it, I guess.
Hi everyone, my name is Tsuyoshi Kanda, producer on Resident Evil Village.
All
I
right.
want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's played since we launched the game in May. We hope you're enjoying this new chapter in survival horror.
Yeah, the Xbox Bethesda one and Square Enix, you really didn't miss much, to be dead honest.
Gain free access to our online multiplayer title, Resident Evil RE,
Oh, yeah, Reverse.
where players go head-to-head with their favorite Resident Evil heroes
Oh.
and bioweapons. I'm now
trying to figure out what he was doing. It looked like he was carrying someone by the legs.
Go live next month across all supported platforms. So
It is neat that, like, when you die in Reverse, you kind of come back as, like, as essentially a mutated villain from that game. Like, that's kind of a cool thing to do there. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Kanda-san, for that wonderful update. Next up, some long-awaited news from the world of
What?
Monster Hunter.
Oh
Whether
my
it's
g-
adventuring alongside monsters or battling them with friends, we've got something.
This E3 has been very weird.
First, let's dive into the brand new story-based RPG entry to the series. Monster Hunter
Sure,
Stories
let's.
2: Wings of Ruin.
Let's do it. They just part of that little slideshow there was literally like more shots from what they just did. That was weird. Capcom presents The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I can't believe we opened with Resident Evil Village just for them to say, "There's gonna be DLC. We'll tell you about it later." Like what?
All around, things just kept getting worse.
Oh, why did I?
Heard
There we
that
go.
Guardian Ratha had survived and returned to Hekolu Island.
Does Guardian Ratha have to do with Rathalos? Are those related?
Then, of
Or are they
course,
just similarly named?
that's
Wait,
when I met
Rathalos
you.
is Xenoblade.
You were given Red's kinship stone, and now a
Or it wasn't? Which one? Okay, what was the thing from Xenoblade then that I thought was... No, I'm just dumb and mixing franchises up at this point. Okay. You too can have a loft wing.
Many people believe there's a connection between the strange happenings and the wings of ruin.
Okay.
Hits are appearing everywhere, and they're emitting a strange light.
Oh no, it's Yveltal. What do we do about Yveltal? Oh no. Oh no.
What's this whole idea of forming kinship with monsters? How do you control them?
It's not about control. Monsters help riders of their own will.
All right.
And the bonds between monsters and riders are just like your bond with Tsukino.
I do like the expressions on these characters' faces are really good. The eyes are very emotive, and I like that a lot.
And who are those people who want to take Ratha for themselves? All I have are questions.
Like really well executed kind of anime eye looking thing going on.
Ratha
So
will become anxious too. He needs to know that you will protect him no matter what.
I can sense the flames of his life force weakening. The burden of such great power is too much for his body to bear.
Mm-hmm.
Voice. Can you hear it?
Riders can bond with monsters. Surely you can groove with fellow humans.
What?
They have the power of kinship. Their friends
Kinship is just a thing you can
are
have. I don't know if
monsters.
they're aware of that, but you can just kind of
Everyone
have that.
That
They're
makes
monsties? Did that say monsties?
My friends here taught me that. I believe in the
Is
strength of
monsties their
humanity.
cute way of referring to monsters that are your pets? They call them monsties? Small baby monsters. Okay. Featuring free title updates. Such as Werewolf and Mask Boy. Okay. They're technically different from monsters. It's a good thing they call them a different thing entirely then. Also, that's cute. Malamute Pal is a Palamute. Here, take my kid. I can't be bothered to raise it. All right. Neato. You receive this. What is this? Wait, receive what? It didn't say what. Okay.
Looks pretty epic, right? And how about that announcement? The canine companion Palamute from
It is
Monster
definitely
Hunter
interesting that
Rise will
Nintendo and
join
Bandai
Monster
Namco are on
Hunter
the
Stories
same
2
day.
as
I
one
do
of the
hope that
new
means we're...
monsters in the
I would
first
assume we're going to
free
at least
title
hear about
soon
one of the
after
two
game's
remaining
release.
Smash Fighters, if not
You
both
can
of
get an
them.
early peek at
But
the game with the Monster Hunter Stories
very
2
intriguing with that.
Wings of Ruin trial version, starting on June 25th, which also carries your progress over to the full game release just a few weeks later on July 9th. That's not the only way to join the hunt.
Okay.
Millions of you made Monster
The
Hunter
other
Rise
way
a
is to
huge success earlier this year.
I don't
We
even
have
know.
even more content coming, including a new collaboration on the rise. Let's find out more.
Yeah, again, every time they cut away from her, they re-show the last clip in the little slideshow thing. Wait, we're doing more Monster Hunter. So for what it's worth, this is less than 30 minutes long. And we're already 10 minutes in, and we've done an acknowledgement that DLC is coming for Resident Evil Village, and everything else has been Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Feeling. What will it be? Moon's blessing emerge.
Hoki doke. one of these days I'm just going to have to start playing Monster Hunter just for the sake of having any idea what's going on anytime Capcom ever has any kind of presentation, because I feel like they spend an inordinate amount of time on it. And it's like, I don't know. There are other franchises that Capcom has. It'd be nice to see more of those ones. I don't even necessarily mean Mega Man. I'd love to see Mega Man. I'd also love to see, like, I don't know. Is Ace Attorney? Ace Attorney is Capcom, right? And also, like, Street Fighter or... What's fucking going on right now? I don't understand what this game is based on moments like this. Like, I don't get it. Version 3.1. Oh, they're doing the live service model too. As a trend in gaming that I do not like.
To be a Monster Hunter fan. With all the new updates to Monster Hunter Rise and the launch of Monster Hunter Stories 2 this summer. We can't wait to hear about your own stories of adventure. Well, that's not the only thing Capcom.
How about Marvel vs. Capcom 4 or 5, I guess?
Right, we'll have new chapters to explore with the release
Hey.
of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
All right.
North
In which
American
we're
and
keeping...
European future attorneys will finally be able to get their hands on the Great Ace Attorney Adventures.
All right, so I am excited
and
about
the Great
this
Ace
because I
Attorney
think it's been
2
Japan
Resolve,
only.
which were previously only available in
Yeah.
Japan. You'll travel back in time to the late 19th century Japan and London to play as Ryunosuke Naruhodo, Phoenix Wright's ancestor, in this action-packed prequel.
So it's interesting
Now,
to
let's hear
me.
more about the story.
It is interesting to me that they're just kind of unifying the Japanese origin of his ancestor, as opposed to most Ace Attorney games, that at least the ones set in the present. I want to say the first game is set in California,
I will become a lawyer. I have to.
but I don't remember for sure.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Who are you? Herlock Sholmes. You must have heard of me.
Herlock Sholmes. Because they didn't want to wait the 2 years it would have taken for the last copyrights to expire on 3 Sherlock Holmes stories that the Arthur Conan Doyle estate has been like clenching as hard as they can to hang on to keep. Essentially, Sherlock Holmes as a character is public domain, but Sherlock Holmes is public domain, but like very specific elements of him are not. Thanks to these last 3 stories, it's very confusing. But
my lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage.
Van Zieks. That's an interesting. I don't know much about the great Ace Attorney.
You're the best lawyer in the world.
I'm excited for it though. I do love that series. It's been kind of dry on the Western side of things for a while.
Cases and 8 mini escapades where you can take on the role of a defense attorney. Now, we all want to see some gameplay, right? Let's take a closer first look at 2 gameplay features new to the franchise in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Yeah, Herlock Sholmes, the problem with that for me is like it's Uncanny Valley stuff. It's them going, get it? It's like Sherlock Holmes, but we're not going to call them Sherlock Holmes. And it's like, I would rather you just go with a different thing and have them be like a visual, like, I don't know. It would have been,
if you wouldn't mind.
The Capcom team is thrilled to present
nice little bit there. I would rather they just have a different name entirely and they just go with the visual, like, you know, there's a clear visual language that indicates Sherlock Holmes to people. But, well, yeah, it's a common name change because it's been wrapped up in copyright stuff. The moment he is 100% public domain in all his forms, you're never going to see half of these names again, half of these, like, fake ones again.
And the brilliance of deduction from Detective Herlock.
Yeek.
Herlock will proceed to present his logic and reasoning spectacular, a grandiose yet flawed series of conjectures.
Roylott. I mean, yeah. This is an odd moment because it feels like this is meant to be a tutorial, either a tutorial case that you're getting walked through, or it is a just entire tutorial that you don't have any interaction with. But it is interesting that we're seeing essentially it all getting explained at us. Okay. Oh, I would disagree strongly about Japan having more reasonable copyright terms. They straight up do not have a mechanism for fair use at all, which is part of the reason why certain properties, some properties on YouTube just get entirely blocked. Some properties on YouTube get monetized in a way where you have absolutely zero chance of combating it. And there are some elements of lost media that are just gone forever because it's just kind of part of the Japanese culture of that sort of self-ownership of IPs and things, where I've been following a handful of folks on Twitter who have been trying to restore or I can't think of the word for it, I'm gonna go with museumify, but that's not it. Basically, trying to keep it from being lost forever, and the person on the other side is just like, nope, I don't want you to have it. But yeah, I'm not familiar with public domain in Japan. I'm not certain on that front. There's a really long sequence for us to be walking through for this. I mean, I guess it has been a while since we... Wow, spoilers on the first case, I guess. It's been a while since we've gotten when's the last Ace Attorney game we've gotten in the States? Did we wind up getting the one that was a crossover with Professor Layton? Preserve, that's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
In courtroom battles, players will attempt to convince 6
Man,
jurors of the innocence of their client. Their progress will be displayed and represented.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can find out, since we got a second, and I'm not super like, hey, I am very interested in watching the entire first case get played out. Okay, let's see. So we got the Ace Attorney trilogy in 2013, but I'm sure... Oh, boy, that was actually almost the last one. We did get the crossover with Layton in 2014, so it's been 7 years since the last time we've seen Ace Attorney in the West. And before that, we got the first Miles Edgeworth game in 2010. We didn't even get the second one. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, never mind. I'm looking in the wrong section. Spirit of Justice. We got essentially Ace Attorney 6. We got that in 2016. So that was the most recent one.
If you successfully point out one of these contradictions among the jurors, you might just change their minds too. With a slam of their fist,
yeah,
each
okay.
juror you persuade will send a fiery ball towards the scales above, and
it's very confusing because we got the original trilogy of Phoenix Wright games, and then we got Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, which did involve Phoenix Wright, and then we got 2 more that are kind of like both Phoenix and Apollo. So we kind of have this Apollo Justice trilogy as well.
In the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, we are very excited to
Yeah.
get this game in the hands of both new fans.
It'd be nice if we could get the second Miles Edgeworth game. That'd be nice.
Thanks for watching.
Okie dokie.
It already seems like I have a bunch of games to catch up on. There are some exciting...
Really? We've only talked about 3.
Look forward to. Well, that's a look at the new premieres from Capcom, but what about esports? Let's close out today's showcase with a few words from 2 of the stars of Capcom Fighters, Rob TV and Vicious. They'll tell us what's been going on with Capcom esports, including updates on the Capcom Pro Tour, Intel World Open, Street Fighter League, and all the other content on Capcom Fighters.
I am happy for Great Ace Attorney. I was not... I was Not really expecting any Mega Man.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Capcom
I was hoping that maybe we would get some, like... There's been murmurs that Rockman X Dive is going to be coming to Steam and possibly getting its worldwide release through Steam. I was kind of hoping we might see a little of something there. Whoa. Yeah, wow. So they straight up actually said everything that was...
Street Fighter 5, Capcom E3, it just feels right and you feel the electricity in the air.
Oh, boy.
That was nasty. And there might be some people at home, Vicious, who don't...
This is such a weird way to end this presentation.
The long and the short of it is this. We travel all around the world, state to state, country to country, and we try to bring our opponent's life bar from 100 all the way down to 0 and feel pretty goddamn good.
I feel burned, you guys. I kept my expectations low, and I still kind of feel burned. Like, I'm happy for the Great Ace Attorney. That was good. That was solid. But man, I think we, like, starting by saying Resident Evil Village will have DLC, and that's all we're telling you is like, well, that's a rough start for this. Jesus Christ. And Nintendo's got a heavy burden to bear coming into tomorrow. What time is that even at? That's supposed to be at, like, noon, I think? Yeah, noon EST, or EDT. Man, oh man, oh man. Oh, this...
And that's a place that you are very, very familiar
like...
That's right. We take all of our events and broadcast it live.
I don't want to be, like, super down on it or whatever, but it's like... This E3 has definitely been kind of a bummer overall. And I get it. Obviously, you know, we still have the pandemic to worry about. But I think I and a lot of other people were hoping that many of the 2020 announcements that had to get pushed back were going to kind of get mushed on into this, and, like, we would have... I don't know, something close to what we were expecting for last year. But
not only can you catch the Capcom Pro Tour,
how is it that esports commentary is still feels so amateur? I don't mean it as like well, okay, maybe I guess it is sort of saying some of the commentators too, but like it always seems like the audio is never, like, mastered properly at all. Like, obviously, these leagues don't have, you know, the budget of, like, the NFL or anything, but still, like, you probably shouldn't have people blowing out their mics. And I don't know. This is all I've got to talk about at this point because we got 2 Monster Hunter games. Just nothing, like, the only thing that was, like, announced as a new thing was the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which was already kind of assumed to be coming anyway. So what the fuck is going on? What is why? Jesus Christ. So, like,
next month. Be sure to check out the official website for more information, including current standings and broadcast schedule. To commemorate this event, everyone who logged in during this period will receive an exclusive.
I guess Xbox and Bethesda are kind of winning right now. Yeah, so it was already announced. So so they had no new things. It was all stuff we already knew about. And just the rumbling that there would be DLC for Village, which I think we all kind of assumed anyway after 7. So, like, I don't know. It just I guess Xbox has the best one that I've seen so far, which is not saying much because all 3 of these have been kind of bummers. Not bummers, just underwhelming. The Square Enix one actually kind of pissed me off a little bit. That was a bad one. Wait, we're doing more? I thought that was it. Wow. Yes, the Capcom one has nothing new with the singular exception of official confirmation that there will be some kind of DLC for Resident Evil Village.
a really exciting season so far, and I can't wait to see how this plays out on the road to Capcom Cup. Remember to check out Capcom Fighters' Twitch and YouTube channels for more information and to watch the latest matches. So that's a wrap for Capcom E3 this year. Let's recap what we all saw. Resident Evil Village is back with the latest installment of the survival horror experience and RE Verse as part of the franchise.
I really wish they wouldn't play this up like they fucking nailed it.
New adventures to embark on in the world
Holy
of Monster
shit.
Hunter, with Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, and Monster Hunter Rise. And don't forget to go back in time with the great Ace Attorney Chronicles to tap into the family history of Phoenix Wright and solve new cases. Finally, don't miss out on the esports fun. Make sure you catch the latest matches with Capcom Fighters. There really is something for everyone here today.
No, there isn't.
Join the conversation on Twitter and make sure you check out the Capcom
God,
Fighters
what?
page on the E3 portal to watch all these videos again.
You've shown off
I'm Rachel Querico,
4 games? 3.5 games?
of the Capcom experience at E3 this year.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Whoa, wow. That was really rough. That was really, really rough. Jeez. The only reason this isn't the bottom of the 3 is because Square Enix literally spent 30 minutes on Marvel specifically and then breezed past stuff like, hey, pixel accurate-ish remasters of Final Fantasy 1 through 6 in seconds. Oh my god. All right. I'm going to do that. So like I wasn't expecting like any jaw-dropping holy shit things here, but man, that felt like such a drip feed of very little. It's all stuff we knew was coming. Wow. Yeah, that was a bit of a bummer there. This E3 is shaping up to be kind of one of the worst ones that I can even think of. And I get that the circumstances really impact this. But I feel I don't know. I feel like there were a lot more interesting announcements last year in the middle of all of this crazy shit. Boy. E3 execs have got to be fucking sweating their balls off at this point, because E3 is kind of going through this thing in the pop culture of people going, do we need E3? And I wouldn't go that far, but showings like these don't help. Yeah, honestly, I'd be excited to see what Sony has also, except Sony's not participating this year. Sony's been doing pretty well. The State of Play has been a very successful endeavor for them, as is usually the case when Sony, follows Nintendo's lead on stuff that turned out really good. But they're not participating in E3 this year, even in a digital sense. So, for me anyway, we're down to 2 tomorrow. We have Nintendo at noon. They're doing a 40-minute Nintendo Direct. 40 minutes is pretty meaty, even for Nintendo, even for E3. So, that's a good sign. 5:25 p.m., we have Bandai Namco. I don't know if the length of theirs has been released, but we know that it's at least less than an hour. Bandai Namco is not one that I'm like, fuck yeah, we got to find. But, they are the developers for Smash. Or co-developers rather, so there might be some interesting stuff there. But yeah, I don't know. The Nintendo one seems to be the only one that remains that has the ability to, I don't want to say save E3, because at this point, one good presentation from one company is not going to save E3. Because it's the whole experience overall that would really be a make or break there. But this is not good. This is not a good year for E3. It's definitely been underwhelming, and I get that we have, a year and a half's worth of COVID that's been impacting stuff. But at the same time, we also had a lot of delays from last year that could have been assumed to get pushed into this year, and we're not seeing any of those either. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm hoping for something from Nintendo, because if Nintendo's is bad too, which I'd be surprised if it was bad. Most Nintendo ones are not bad. But if Nintendo's is underwhelming too, then this whole E3 is just, throw it out with the bathwater, I guess. As for predictions for Nintendo or things I'd like to see, I mean, we might see Smash. There's been rumors of a new Donkey Kong game. There's, obviously Breath of the Wild 2 is something people have been hoping to hear more about. Metroid Prime 4 for the same thing there. They're probably going to talk Mario and Rabbids as well. But yeah, wow. I hope that they picked a good character to include in Smash, because if it's gonna wind up being someone that we've seen in one of these other presentations, it's gonna feel a little more sour off of that. But man. That's the thing too. Yeah, Nintendo is not relying on the E3 Nintendo Direct as their singular, like, real major. Not like E3 is the one and only every year, because there's always also like Tokyo Game Show and things like that. But E3 is kind of a big one. It's especially their big, like, worldwide focused one. So yeah. I guess we'll have to come back tomorrow. We'll see you guys at noon for Nintendo for the 40-minute Direct. Here's hoping we get something good there, because it's really worrying me right now. That's I mean, it's 0 for 3. The best one is Xbox, which I think had 2 titles that I was even mildly interested in, but they also had a lot of titles to show off, and a bunch of the titles they showed off are things that other people are really interested in a much wider variety of things. This one was like, hey, Resident Evil, Monster Hunter. I've already forgotten what the other one was. Ace Attorney. Wow, and that's the one that I would probably be most likely to pick up on my own. So there we go. That's it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow at noon, and here's hoping for the best. Bye.
And at this